Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brianne, and today we're diving deep into a topic that I think is fundamentally life-changing: mastering the art of time management. How many times have you reached the end of the day feeling like you were busy all day long, but you didn't actually accomplish anything meaningful? It's a frustratingly common feeling, but the good news is, it doesn't have to be your reality. It's not about having more hours in the day. It's about making the hours you have count. I used to struggle with this constantly, feeling overwhelmed by my to-do list and constantly battling procrastination. Over the years, I've experimented with dozens of different systems and strategies, and what I've discovered is that productivity isn't about hustle culture or burning yourself out. It's about working smarter, not harder. It's about creating systems that support your goals and allow you to focus on what truly matters. In this video, I'm going to share the 12 most impactful, actionable strategies that have completely transformed my own productivity. We'll cover everything from classic principles to modern digital tools that can help you reclaim your time and energy. So, if you're ready to stop feeling overwhelmed and start feeling in control of your schedule, then you're in the right place. We're going to break down these concepts into simple, easy-to-implement steps so you can start building a more productive and, ultimately, more fulfilling life today. We've got a lot to cover, so grab a notebook and let's get into it. Alright, first up is a principle that completely shifted my perspective on work: the Pareto principle, more commonly known as the 80-20 rule. The core idea is beautifully simple. For many outcomes, roughly 80% of the consequences come from 20% of the causes. In terms of productivity, this means that about 20% of your tasks will likely account for 80% of your meaningful results. When I first heard this, it was a light bulb moment. I realized I was spending so much time on low-impact, busy work that didn't actually move the needle on my most important goals. The key is to identify that critical 20%. Take a look at your to-do list or your goals for the week. Ask yourself, if I could only complete 3 things on this list today, which ones would create the most significant progress? These are your high-leverage activities. By consciously choosing to focus your best energy on these vital few tasks first, you ensure that even on a day where you don't get everything done, you've tackled what truly matters. It's about being effective, not just efficient. Now that we're thinking about high-impact tasks, how do we actually categorize them? This is where the Eisenhower Matrix comes in, and it's an absolute game-changer for prioritization. Popularized by Stephen Covey, this framework helps you sort your tasks into 4 quadrants based on 2 simple criteria: urgency and importance. Quadrant 1 is for tasks that are both urgent and important. These are the crises and deadlines you need to do now. Quadrant 2 is for tasks that are important, but not urgent. This is where the magic happens. This is strategic planning, skill building, and relationship building. Quadrant 3 is for tasks that are urgent, but not important. These are often other people's priorities, interruptions, and some emails. The goal here is to delegate or minimize these. And finally, Quadrant 4 is for tasks that are not urgent and not important. These are the time wasters you should eliminate. The goal of effective time management is to spend as much time as possible living and working in Quadrant 2, proactively focusing on what moves you toward your long-term goals, rather than constantly reacting to fires in Quadrant 1. So, you've identified your important tasks. Now, how do you make sure you actually have time to do them? The answer is time blocking. Instead of working from a simple to-do list, you schedule your tasks directly into your calendar as if they were appointments. You're not just saying, "I'll work on the project report today." You're blocking out a specific time, say 9 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock, dedicated solely to that task. This creates a powerful intention and protects your time from distractions. This method forces you to be realistic about what you can achieve in a day. When you lay everything out on a calendar, you can immediately see if you've overcommitted. It also helps combat Parkinson's law, which states that work expands to fill the time allotted for its completion. By giving a task a specific, finite block of time, you create a sense of urgency that encourages focus. You're essentially creating a roadmap for your day, which dramatically reduces decision fatigue about what to work on next. If you struggle with maintaining focus for long periods, especially during those time blocks, the Pomodoro technique is your new best friend. It's incredibly simple, but honestly, profoundly effective. You set a timer for 25 minutes and work with intense, single-minded focus on one task. No checking emails, no scrolling social media, just pure, uninterrupted work. When the timer goes off, you put a check mark on a piece of paper and take a short 5-minute break. This is crucial. Get up, stretch, grab some water, completely disconnect from the task. After 4 of these Pomodoros, you take a longer break, maybe 15 to 30 minutes. This technique works because it breaks down daunting tasks into manageable intervals, making it easier to get started. The frequent breaks prevent mental burnout and help maintain a high level of concentration throughout the day. It trains your brain to focus in short, powerful bursts. I use this every single day for writing scripts or tackling any mentally demanding task, and it makes a world of difference in my output and my energy levels. Let's be honest, one of the biggest enemies of focus in the modern world is our own devices. The constant pings, notifications, and the allure of infinite scrolling can derail even the best-laid plans. This is why practicing a regular digital detox is non-negotiable for serious productivity. This doesn't mean you have to throw your phone away, but it does mean being intentional about when and how you use it. Start by turning off all non-essential notifications on your phone and computer. Do you really need to know instantly when someone likes your photo? Another powerful strategy is to schedule specific times for checking email and social media, rather than letting them interrupt you throughout the day. Maybe you check them once in the late morning and once at the end of the workday. You can use apps and browser extensions that block distracting websites during your focus blocks. It feels a bit strange at first, but reclaiming your attention from these digital slot machines is one of the highest leverage things you can do to get more deep, meaningful work done. Your physical environment has a massive impact on your mental state and ability to concentrate. Trying to do deep work on a cluttered dining table with the TV on in the background is a recipe for failure. That's why creating a mindful work environment is a key strategy. This means designating a specific space, if possible, that is used exclusively for work. This helps your brain create a powerful association. When you're in this space, it's time to focus. It doesn't have to be a separate room, it can be a specific corner of your bedroom or a particular desk. The next step is to engineer this space for focus. This means decluttering your desk, keeping only the essentials within arm's reach. A clean space leads to a clearer mind. It also means managing interruptions. If you live with others, communicate your focus hours so they know not to disturb you. Consider using noise-cancelling headphones to block out distracting sounds. You are the architect of your environment, and intentionally designing it to be calm, organized, and free from interruptions is a foundational step for sustained productivity. Context switching, which is basically when you're rapidly shifting from one type of task to another, is actually a massive productivity killer. Every single time you switch, your brain has to reorient itself, which honestly costs both time and mental energy. The solution to this is something called batching. It's just the simple idea of grouping similar tasks together and, doing them all in one dedicated session. For example, instead of answering emails as they arrive throughout the day, you can set aside 2 30-minute blocks, one in the morning and one in the afternoon, to clear your inbox. And this concept can be applied to almost anything. You could batch all your phone calls into 1 hour, or you could batch all your content creation, like filming several videos, on one day. You could even batch all your errands and appointments for one afternoon a week. By staying in the same mental mode for an extended period, you actually create a much more efficient workflow. You avoid the constant startup and wind down costs of context switching, which really allows you to get into a rhythm and just power through those tasks much more quickly. If your appointments, deadlines, and to-do lists are scattered across sticky notes, different notebooks, and well, your own memory, you're honestly setting yourself up for stress and forgotten commitments. In our digital age, using a synced digital calendar is kind of like having your own personal assistant. I personally use Google Calendar, but honestly, any digital calendar will do the trick. The key is to make it your single source of truth for anything time-related. All appointments, meetings, deadlines, and even your time blocks should go into your calendar. The real power comes from synchronization. Your calendar should be accessible on your phone, your laptop, and your tablet. This means you can add an event on your laptop, and it'll instantly appear on your phone, ready to remind you when you're on the go. Set up default reminders for events, maybe 1 day before and 1 hour before, just to make sure nothing slips through the cracks. This simple system frees up so much mental bandwidth because you no longer have to waste energy trying to remember everything. You can just trust your system. While structure and planning are definitely vital, it's equally important to build some flexibility into your schedule. Life is unpredictable. Meetings run over, tasks take longer than expected, and honestly, unexpected emergencies just pop up. If your schedule is packed back-to-back with no breathing room, a single delay can totally derail your entire day, causing this cascade of stress. This is why incorporating buffer time is a real pro move. When you're time blocking, don't schedule things one after the other. Leave 15 to 30-minute gaps between major blocks. This buffer time acts as a shock absorber for your day. If a task takes longer, the buffer absorbs the extra time without impacting your next commitment. If you finish early, you have a moment to reset, grab a coffee, or even get a head start on the next task. This approach also allows for serendipity and creativity. Sometimes, the best ideas come when you have a moment of unstructured time to just think. A rigid schedule breaks under pressure, but a flexible schedule bends and adapts, keeping you in control and reducing stress. While principles are the foundation, the right tools can act as a massive force multiplier for your productivity. There are some incredible productivity apps out there designed to help you organize and manage your work. For project management, tools like Trello, Asana, and Monday are fantastic. They use systems like Kanban boards, which are visual ways to track tasks as they move from to-do to in progress to done. This is brilliant for collaborating with a team or just managing complex personal projects with many moving parts. For personal knowledge management and note-taking, an app like Notion has honestly become my second brain. It's an all-in-one workspace where you can take notes, manage tasks, build databases, and plan projects. It's incredibly flexible and allows you to build a system that's perfectly tailored to your needs. The key is not to get overwhelmed by all the options. Just pick 1 or 2 tools that solve a specific problem for you, learn them well, and integrate them into your workflow. They can provide the structure you need to execute your plans effectively. Have you ever felt like you worked a full 8-hour day, but have no idea where the time actually went? This is where time tracking can be an incredibly eye-opening exercise. You can't improve what you don't measure. Using a time tracking app like Toggle or Rescue Time automatically monitors how you spend your time on your computer and phone. It categorizes your activities, showing you exactly how many hours you spent on productive work versus emails versus social media versus miscellaneous websites. The goal here isn't to judge yourself or to aim for 100% productivity, which is impossible. The goal is awareness. When you review your data at the end of the week, you might be shocked to discover that what felt like just 5 minutes on Instagram was actually an hour-and-a-half spread throughout the day. This data provides objective feedback on your habits and highlights the biggest time-wasting culprits. It gives you the concrete information you need to make intentional changes and align your time usage with your priorities. Finally, let's talk about the ultimate productivity hack: automation. There are countless small, repetitive tasks that we all have to do every day or week that drain our time and mental energy. The good news is that many of these can be automated using simple tools. Services like Zapier or IFTTT, which stands for If This Then That, are like digital glue that connects your different apps and services together to perform actions automatically. It's really like having a little robot assistant working for you 24/7. For example, you could set up an automation so that every time you receive an email with an invoice, it's automatically saved to a specific folder in your Google Drive. Or you could create a rule that every time you star an email in Gmail, a new task is created for it in your Trello board. You can even automate social media posting or the creation of standard reports. Taking an hour or two to set up these automations can save you dozens of hours in the long run, freeing you up to focus on the creative, strategic work that only you can do. And there you have it, 12 powerful strategies to help you master your time and boost your productivity. We've covered a lot, from foundational principles like the 80-20 rule and the Eisenhower Matrix, to practical techniques like time blocking and the Pomodoro technique, all the way to modern tools for automation and tracking. My hope is that this has given you a comprehensive toolkit that you can start using right away. But remember, the key is not to try and implement all 12 of these things at once. That would be completely overwhelming. Instead, I encourage you to pick just one or two strategies that resonated with you the most. Maybe it's trying the Pomodoro technique for your next study session, or maybe it's setting up a simple Trello board for a personal project. Experiment with it for a week, see how it feels, and find what works best for your unique brain and workflow. Mastering time management isn't a one-time fix. It's a continuous journey of self-awareness, experimentation, and refinement. It's about building sustainable habits that serve you in the long run. Thank you so much for investing your time with me today. If you found this video helpful, I would be so grateful if you could hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more content on productivity and intentional living. And now I'd love to hear from you. What is your single favorite time management tip? Whether it was from this video or one of your own, share it in the comments below so we can all learn from each other. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.